This is for computer servicing and associated electronics. This first tech tip I'm doing, it's just going to be on how to wipe a Windows password or how to get through a password on Windows systems. As of right now, we're just going to be booting this system to show you guys that there's actually a password on here. So, as you can see, username or password is incorrect. So, just shut down the system, and we're going to be booting from Hirens Boot. And that's what we're going to be using to get through this password. You can use a USB or you can use a disk, just some kind of bootable device. For this example, we're just going to be using a disk because this laptop was being stubborn and wouldn't let me boot from USB for some reason. So, we're just using a disk. And all I've done previous to this is change the boot order to boot from disk before the internal hard drive. So, this is Hirens Boot CD. You get the exact same window from any other bootable device as long as it's Hirens Boot. And in this particular example, we're going to be going to DOS programs and then to password and registry tools, so number 3. And then from there, we're going to the offline password changer, number 1. Now this should work with any Windows operating system. I don't know if it works for Windows 8, but I know it does work for anyone previous to that. Now, if you get this crazy window, this is how you know it's working. The first step is specifying a partition. For this one in particular, there are only 2 partitions. There's a boot partition, which is 100 megabytes, and there's the primary partition, which is like 610,000 megabytes, so like 600 and something gigs. We're going to be using the second partition, not the boot one. We need to specify the one that Windows is installed onto. If you do not select the correct partition in this step, then you won't be able to do the following steps. So the one that Windows is onto is the one that you want. So for this example, it's number 2. So we type in 2, press enter. And you see right under where it says step 2, it says debug path. Windows found as Windows, System32 found as System32, config found as config, and then it found the correct case to be Windows System32 config. If you get those pop-ups, then you know you specified the correct partition. You're going to get errors if you do not select the correct ones. So for this next step, you're just specifying where the registry is. Normally it's just Windows System32 config. That's the default, no one's going to change that, so just press enter. The next step is to actually specify what you want to do. You can go into the recovery console, you can reset passwords, or you can just quit the whole thing. For this example, we want password reset. So we hit 1, hit enter. And the next step is, the main interactive menu. We're going to be able to edit user data and passwords from here. So we can press 1 and enter. And from here, we have to specify a username that we want to wipe the password for. So if there's multiple users on a computer, this is how you would only wipe one without messing with the other ones. On this computer, there's only one main user that we can log on to, and that's JO. And that is what we're going to want to type in here. So JO, hit enter. And then from here, we can actually wipe the password. So you can see our menu. We can clear the user password. We can edit the password. We can promote the user so we can make it an administrator. Or we can unlock and enable user accounts. We can quit the editor. There's a few different things. But for right now, we just want to wipe the password. So we hit 1, enter. And there's a little pop-up that says password cleared. So we're doing it right from here on out. And that's really it. From now, we just have to quit Hirens Boot and we have to save our changes. So we can mess with other users to change those passwords if we want to, or we can quit. So if you want to quit, just hit Shift 1 for an exclamation point, enter, Q, and enter. And then this is how we actually save the changes. It says writing back changes, about to write files back. Do it. You want to hit yes to save your changes, and enter. And that's where I messed up on my first time because I thought that meant put the defaults back on it, so don't save the changes, and you want to hit Y there and enter for yes. So edit complete. You can try it again if it somehow failed, or you selected the wrong thing, or, new run, hit N, or yes for new run, N for no, and then this is how we exit it. This is the end of it. So Control-Alt-Delete to reboot the system. So Control-Alt-Delete. I don't know why that's not working, but there we go. Control-Delete. And this is just going to show you that we can boot the system now without a password. It's going to open up Hirens Boot, but we can just boot from hard drive. That's just because I didn't change the boot priority. So as you can remember, or if you can't remember, you can rewind the video. When we first started the computer, there was a password on the Windows. We had to type in a password to actually log on, and now we don't. We get the welcome screen, and it goes straight to the operating system's desktop. So there you have it. That's how you wipe passwords using Hirens Boot in a few minutes. It's not that difficult. Yeah.